Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and keybinds to help you fly the aircraft in Battlefield 6. But before we get started, I must warn you, the jets and helicopters in this game are in a state that I can only describe as half-baked. We do not have so many things that we had in previous titles. So, if you are not dissuaded by the ADM, the third-person camera spotting and locking, the map not displaying the ground for most times, spotting in general, the C-round, aircraft spotting on the ground and people sitting in the way of them spotting, the TTK between the aircraft being way too fast, AA missiles on the boat and mobile AA, lost control after a hit, lock hitting you through flares, lock killing the pilot out of the cockpit, the cannon's accuracy, the bomb's accuracy, and the first-person POV in the All Street pen, then please stick around. If you want my more in-depth thoughts on the things that I just mentioned here, please let me know down in the comments. Without further ado, let's get into the keybinds. Alright, go to your settings, mouse and keyboard, go down to vehicles, aircraft pilot keybinds. We'll look at the helicopters in a moment. This is only a tutorial for M&K, I don't know how to fly on controller. Put your exit vehicle button to something very, very far away from your control buttons, because there is truly no worse feeling than fat fingering your exit key and watching your aircraft fly off into the sunset without you. I have my big map on middle mouse, just so it's always accessible to me. That's going to be a common theme you'll see with all these binds. You can put it on something on your keyboard if you would like. I have the chase camera on C, that's what puts you into the first-person cockpit POV. Okay, here are the ones that matter the most. These ones that they give you by default are super bad. The control scheme that I use for flying is called rifle aim, where you put your yaw left and right and your pitch up and down on your mouse. But you should also put your yaw left and right pitch up and down on keyboard buttons so you can control it with your mouse and your keyboard. That's the secret they won't tell you in pilot school. You can play around with these, see what feels good to you. I would say that you should probably put pitch up on space at least. That's just so you can hold it down maximum in dogfights, just so you can turn into the other person as quick as the game will allow you to. And then, most importantly, you want to unbind the mouse side of roll right and left. You just click on that and you hold escape and it'll clear the mouse binding. And then put the roll on A and D. And then free look I have on E. You can put it on a mouse button if you feel so inclined. That's what lets you look around the aircraft freely. Afterburner on shift and my top side mouse button. And then the weapons and equipment, you can keep your primary and secondary on 1 and 2. And then I have my equipment slot, my flares on X and my bottom side mouse button, and then the bombs on G. Now we can take a look at the helicopters. It's pretty much the same exact thing as what I just showed you. Just go through quick here. And that will pretty much do it for aircraft keybinds. I have my mouse aim sensitivity on 20 at 800 DPI. Now we can take a look at some of the loadouts. I very much think that the 7.62 minigun is better than the heavy, just because of all the nerfs it got, and the grenade launcher is a meme if you want to have fun. Then secondary, light rockets, of course. The motion sensor, I think, is a lot better than the smoke. You can dodge locks with the smoke if you're really close to the ground, but if you put on the motion sensor along with the tactical data system, you'll spot for your whole team, not just your squad, and it will do way more than the smoke could ever do, I think. The data system seems to be the only one that provides a real tangible benefit that I can feel in gameplay. I think the other upgrades are just not very good on this thing. And please never put on the aim guidance, whatever you do. Now we can move on to the attack heli. I'll be honest with you, I haven't flown this thing since Season 1 of this game. I don't even know what loadout I have on right now. Whatever you do, put on the thermal optics. The other things on this just aren't very worth. Maybe if you never have a gunner, you can put on the heavy warheads. Rockets, really up to you. Just, once again, just don't put on the aim guideds. Alright, now let's take a look at the attack jet loadout. Very funny. Okay, now I'm going to show you some practical in-game jet flying advice here. First, I'm going to show you what I was complaining about in the intro, where in the first person, in the Keybinds cockpit, you have these big-ass metal bars covering about a fifth of all available space you have to look around in here. It's a very minor complaint, but when the AGMs in this game are just so bad, you really want to have all available space to look around. That's why I much prefer the NATO jet. Alright, we're going to take off here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'd be trying to do in a normal game in the jet. Our first lesson will be on the free look camera and your yaw controls. The free person camera is what lets you look in third person, first person around the jet, but when you are in this camera, you can still make adjustments left and right, as you just saw there. This is good for when you're trying to figure out where to strafe. You can still make little micro adjustments. I know it seems like a small thing, but just try and start incorporating it into your gameplay, into your strafe runs. Now we're going to take a look at the AGM. The AGM can actually get a lock on ground vehicles in the third-person camera. That lock system is based on this targeting camera. Anything that can be seen by aiming in with this targeting camera is what you can lock onto with the AGM in third person. The third person targeting is really finicky, like whenever you have your crosshair over something, it won't always target it. Sometimes you have to move it up, down, left, right, whatever. Sometimes you just got to play around with it until it starts to lock. And at last, we will take a look at the bombs. Only piece of advice I can give you for these is you want to be going fast whenever you drop them on something, because if you are too low and too slow, you can quite easily blow yourself up, which is not what you want to be doing. If all else fails, you can always use the jet as an oversized TV missile, although I would only ever advise doing this as a last resort. That will just about do it about what I have to share about the aircraft in this game. I hope that you learned something useful and that you can go apply these teachings and absolutely demolish some lobbies. Bit of advice I have for any new pilots in this game. I too was a new pilot once. All I did was just keep throwing myself at it over and over again until finally something stuck and I learned what to do. If you would like a more in-depth look at any topic that I have mentioned in this video, please let me know down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.